Hello, I'm Annie Kalatkar from The Leap of Consciousness. Between Ashley Lee, my co-founder, and I, in our healing practices, we've cataloged over 7,000 victim thoughts. These are fear-based thoughts that create all kinds of conflict in ourselves and in others and the environment, both internally and externally, that we experience in the world that we often call life circumstances. So this short video is to explain to you how we get those thoughts. It's really simple. We often go into what's called powerless consciousness. And in doing so, we believe that the world is either against us or someone is against us, or maybe we're even against ourselves. And we also create forms of separation, which fuel this victim thinking. I'm separate from what I want. So let's talk about what I want. What do you want? There's an expression called me-centrism. And I like to say it's, I want what I want, when I want, with who I want, where I want. It's all about what I want. And this keeps us separate from the whole. It keeps us stuck inside duality. It keeps us from moving into oneness with everyone else. So what happens when we have all of these wants? And by the way, there's nothing wrong with wanting something. It's when we create this world that I'm the most important one, and then everything revolves around me. So this means that you can be hacked. This means you have preferences. And we don't recognize that by having preferences, it can lead to victim consciousness and the experience of being a victim. So I'm going to be really silly here for a moment, but let's just say that I like to sleep with a certain type of pillow on my side at night. And let's just say that something happens to that pillow and I can't sleep that way. I might go into victim thinking saying, oh, great, now I'm not going to get the best night's sleep. My neck is going to hurt. I'm going to be uncomfortable on my back, whatever my excuse or my reasons are. The point is I have a preference. And when my preference doesn't get met, I may go into victim thoughts, such as I don't get to have my needs met. I don't get to have what I want. These are all fear-based thoughts. And if we dig deeper into those fear-based thoughts, we might discover that they're rooted in scarcity consciousness or lack consciousness. So in this world that we are living in, which is very quantum, and we're moving into growth inside a quantum financial system, we may have preferences for how we experience our time and our energy and our resources being included in the quantum system. So if you discover that you are getting stressed out, moving into fear, impatient, these are all fear-based thoughts. Let's explore a couple of those very quickly. Impatience is time is a liability consciousness. And inside of that construct, we may have a fear that time is working against us. It's my enemy. It's a threat to my happiness and to my peace. These are all fear-based thoughts that lead to being victimized. There's other thoughts with impatience that can create problems where you might bet on the timeline, which means you could come up short. You could have all kinds of problems created from time as a liability, which victimizes you. So when we release something like impatience, that I don't have enough time to deal with this, I don't have the resources to waste time in this area, any of those types of thoughts, those are all, again, fear-based. They lower your energy. They put that energy out into the world. So I want to talk about that for a moment. And I may repeat myself in some of these sound bites in this library, but it's important that you become more and more familiar with the vocabulary that I'm using. Quantum means my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions that I create from those feelings go out of my body like a brainwave pattern that stimulates the light particles on the quantum level. And then those particles touch and impact something like your phone. And so if you are in stress, if you are in fear, if you're in self-doubt, if you're in worry, if you feel that you could be hacked, all of those fear patterns energetically leave your brain and go out into the quantum field, and they affect everything. They affect how you work with a computer, how you work with your phone, how you work within a system like a chat room, how you interact with others. You may produce additional conflict in your life. So, victim consciousness, it's easy to say, oh, I don't have victim thinking because I don't allow anyone to hurt me. Doesn't mean you don't have victim consciousness, because as my library would suggest, with 7,000 entries and counting, we are experiencing every single fear-based thought inside the collective. And this victim thinking is impacting all the new systems and structures we're building here on New Earth. That is why we must be impeccable with our thoughts. That means we come from conscious choice, from our true nature of love. We say, wow, my thoughts, my feelings, and my very emotions and the actions that I make and take from those brainwaves is impacting myself, my physical body. It could be producing headaches. It could be producing back pain, diseased states in the body. And that is just a short list of how we impact ourselves with our fear-based thoughts. But when we move it into a community and we're in a chat channel, for example, when we put those brainwave patterns into a room, we're impacting everyone. Unfortunately, this creates what are called spiritual entanglements between you and all others who go into agreement with you. This means you have to take inner personal responsibility for what you create now. If you want to get out of 3D, 4D thinking, if you want to evolve and have life work for you the way you intended it, where it's peaceful, it's loving, your relationships are constructed inside of conscious choice, now you get to evolve and have that higher expression in all that you do. So look for videos in the Ascending with Annie series on my YouTube channel, and there are hours and hours of video that you can go and listen to. Simply denying that you have victim consciousness does not help you. So if it's hard to swallow, I recommend you say, do I have preferences? If the answer is yes, I prefer dark chocolate over white chocolate any day of the week, then you know that you have victim thinking. Because if you can be in a state of, I only want what I want, then you can be manipulated. You can be controlled. You can be hacked. Because behind those preferences are a multitude of other fear-based thoughts. And I'm here to support you over at Leap of Consciousness Telegram channel, getting your questions answered as to how to release these thoughts. You can also go to our website, leapofconsciousness.com, and sign up for 101 days of clearing specific fear-based thoughts. It'll give you a great overview to how these thoughts infiltrate every conversation we have. And then you have an opportunity to clear them. More importantly, if you keep all of the emails together in a folder on a day when you're looking for what is wrong with me, why do I have this cold, this sinus infection, Why are my kids fighting today? You can just go right to root cause and ask yourself, which of these emails do I need to look at to heal the fear that is creating the problems inside the relating with my body, with all others, with the world. You're going to be so empowered with new perspectives of relating that you didn't know existed. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on another video.